In last week's episode, we made it to one of the most isolated regions in Canada, the province of Labrador. It was a long journey as we headed up the remote highway from Quebec, and we even ran into trouble a few times trying to find a campsite as we realized everything was still snowed in.
We're so far away from any sort of help. All right, this is not working out. We gotta turn around.
We pushed forward and finally made it to Labrador City, but in this episode, we were going to be met with even more challenges, as we discover one of the main reasons we even came here might be off the table.
Yeah, the main thing we wanted to see is icebergs. You think it's not, like, it's an okay time? No, on the Labrador side.
No.
Oh, okay.
You won't.
You probably won't? Oh, okay.
Well, alright guys, we got some bummer news. Apparently, you cannot see them here in Labrador. I'm not sure what we're gonna get up to. This might have been a whole bust. Hey everyone, we are Dana and Mike. After living life on the road in our RV and exploring countless beautiful locations in North America and Europe, we came home, bought a van, and converted it into our very own tiny home on wheels. Now, we are back on the road once again with our 3 dogs and searching for adventure. Join us every Sunday for new videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
It is our first official day here in Labrador. We walked over to Tim Hortons and grabbed a breakfast because we want to just kind of keep it easy on the water and the dishes and all that jazz, because we're still not sure what the situation is for dumping and also just getting water. Yeah, we're just gonna quickly eat, and then I figured today we'll just kind of drive around, see the lay of the land, maybe go to the visitor center, let them know we're aware that we're here early, but what is available.
Yeah, we're just gonna try to figure out where we might be able to stay over the next few days here in Labrador. Of course, we could come back to this Walmart, but you know, we want to be able to have some nicer camp spots if we can. Yeah, we're gonna check out some of the spots that we found on iOverlander, and then go to the visitor center and see if they can, you know, suggest anything, and maybe they'll just let us stay there. We don't really know how this is gonna go down yet.
Yeah, and then we might share some thoughts, because we're having some feelings. Nothing bad, I think it's all just in our heads, but I just figured this is van life, and this is kind of stuff you experience, and we might as well share, because I'm sure we're not alone. So we'll touch on that a little bit later after we've had breakfast.
All right, so this Walmart has no meat or produce. I got us a couple of bottles of water. That's all I can really get. So we're gonna have to go to a different actual grocery store. There's an IGA around here, so we'll need to go to that if we want actual, like, food. So yeah, this Walmart is very, very small. Okay, so we are on the road now, and we're gonna hit up some of the spots that are on iOverlander that apparently you can park at, and just kind of scout all these places out, and yeah, see how this all turns out. All right, so here's one. At least it's cleared.
We don't need to be going here right now. We just wanted to scout it.
Yeah.
But it's very potholy.
And it's very muddy. Hey, it's a decent-ish view.
It's not Walmart.
It's not Walmart.
And it might be quieter.
Option number 1 for a place to park up for the night, so not bad. I would be satisfied with that. All right, here is option number 2.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay, 2 options are available.
2 options.
In
Great.
April in Labrador City.
Yes, this is for everyone to know.
Yeah, so just to kind of recap, we are literally just driving around. Woo!
Sorry.
That's okay. We're literally just driving around to scope out these spots, because it was just so late last night that we just didn't want to drive. So we're seeing what's available, and so far it's way more promising. But yeah, getting a little more hopeful. But yeah, like I was saying earlier about how we wanted to kind of talk about how we were feeling, it has been a little bit weird, and I think it's mainly just in our heads. And I think because it feels like we are like the only tourists here right now, and we're in this giant blue van in this tiny town. Like, this is a big town, but like it is still small, and it feels like everybody is staring, and it feels like we're just this big, like, whoa, what is that? Or like, why are you here? And like, you guys are so early. Like, I don't know, it just has been feeling kind of like, oh, should we really be here right now?
That we're literally the only RV that we've seen in a long time now.
Yeah.
So like everyone, kind of gives us looks as we drive by, and we're, we can imagine what they're probably thinking. Like Dana said, like, you guys are too early. Like, why are you here? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you're in like a big city and you need to like bum around for a few days, and you go to their parks or Walmarts or wherever to just park up and hang out, you don't really feel weird about it because it's a big city. Like you kind of get lost in the crowd and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But when you're in a small town like here and up north where we are, yeah,
The same people are probably going to see you like 5 or 6 times in the
so
day.
you feel just a little more exposed in that sense. And like Dana said, it's probably just in our heads.
Yeah, like I don't think anyone cares.
I don't think anyone cares at all.
Yeah.
It's just, we're recognizable, so they just look at us. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not a problem for us to be doing this.
No, I don't think it is a problem at all. I think that it is literally in our heads, and I'm sure tons of other RVers, campers, like whatever, we all probably feel the same way. I just kind of thought I'd share it because it's a common feeling. And so, yeah, just wanted to be real and honest like we always are with our videos, and, sharing the good and the bad. And this is one of those moments where it gets a little bit more like feely.
But things are looking okay.
So far, I'm feeling a little bit better. And I think once we hit up the visitor center, which we're going to hit up on the way back, we'll maybe hopefully feel a little bit more confident, because at this point in time, we are literally just flying by the seat of our pants and by our own research. And just with how much snow there is, it just feels like, wow, is everything that I want to do even possible?
But at least we have solved problem number 1, which is where can we park up and sleep that's not like a Walmart.
And not just stay at the Walmart every single night.
Yeah. So we still have the 2 other issues, where to dump and where to get water. Those are just as critical. So, but hopefully once we go to the visitor center, we can kind of suss that out.
Yeah. So this one is not covered in snow. There's no water, obviously, but the hole's open.
All right, we are at the visitor center here in Labrador City. We're gonna go in and hopefully get some answers. Hi, good morning.
Thanks. You're just looking for information? We know we're a little bit early in this.
Yeah, we're here in our camper van, and we kind of like our plans changed, and we're here like kind of earlier than we thought we would be.
Okay, which way are you guys going?
Towards the coast. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we do have right now. This is like all the services, hotels, places to park.
Oh, cool.
Phone numbers, emergencies, like everything like that.
Okay.
And that's from Lab City right down to Blanc Sablon.
Okay.
This is Adventures Along the Way.
Oh, cool.
Now, like with it being early,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure what is open right now.
Okay.
I also have a map here.
Can you recommend anywhere we can fill water in our camper van?
I would say here, but right now we're having troubles with our
Oh.
plumbing and everything. I have to call the plumbing.
Oh, okay.
Even our toilets, everything is like
Oh, no
out
way.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys will probably still catch things, especially probably the icebergs now too.
Yeah, that's
And-
the main thing we wanted to see is icebergs. You think
Yeah.
it's not like it's an okay time?
Yeah, I think
Oh, okay.
so.
Okay.
Do you have any recommendations on like the best spot?
Twillingate.
So just to add some context, the town of Twillingate she just mentioned is located on the island of Newfoundland. If you've seen our older videos, you'll know that we have been to this area before, and it is incredibly stunning for sure. However, we weren't really planning on going that far this trip, and what she was going to say next was about to disappoint us.
No, on the Labrador side.
No.
Oh, okay.
There. You won't.
You probably won't? Oh, okay.
Now, like
Okay.
up north coast, you
Right.
probably get to see
Yeah.
them. But the only way up there right now is either Skidoo or plane.
Oh, okay.
No worries.
Oh,
We already
okay.
did Newfoundland.
Yeah, we did Newfoundland like a couple years ago. So we weren't planning on going there this time around. But so it never happens here on the mainland side?
No, not
Ah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good to know. Okay, thanks for all your help.
You're welcome, guys.
Cheers.
Enjoy your travel.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, alright guys, we got some bummer news. I thought I did my research, but honestly, I guess it's not very clear online exactly where you can see these icebergs, but apparently you cannot see them here in Labrador. Or if you want, or if you could, it'd be like super up north, but the only way to get there is through snowmobile.
Yeah.
Which is not what we're doing. Yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer, but if you are here and you're on the island,
Yeah.
I've been seeing lots of pictures online, so it does look like it's there, and I kind of had this feeling like, oh, is it only on the island? So I'm not sure what we're gonna get up to. This might have been a whole bust.
But yeah, in any case, we did get a lot of good info from the visitor center. He gave us this big list of things for, vehicle services, RV parking, where to shower and all this stuff. So it was very helpful.
In this book, though, it does say, and this is the Labrador section that I'm in, it does say that you can go to St. Louis to search for icebergs, and St. Louis is on Labrador, and that was kind of where I was hoping to go anyways to search for icebergs, but I don't know. Her reaction made me very doubtful. So I think we're going to park up and just kind of regroup, rethink what this trip is going to look like. I think we're still going to have fun. We're still going to see some place that we've never gone to before. And it has been beautiful, but it just might look a little bit different. And then maybe along the way back we see some things, because it'll be later into May and the snow will have hopefully, been a little less piled up.
We weren't planning on going to the island of Newfoundland this time around. Like, we did that a couple years ago in our truck and trailer, which was awesome. We did that during summer, so it wasn't during like iceberg season or anything like that. And not that, that's not completely off the table. Like, we could make the journey over in our van. Yeah, it's far, but not impossible.
And it's actually a lot cheaper than we thought, because it's a lot shorter of a distance from the end of the Trans-Labrador Highway to the island. Yeah. But the problem is that the main viewing area, according to the lady here, is that it's in Twillingate, which is... So if we took the short ferry from Labrador to Newfoundland, it would be another 7 hours from there to get to Twillingate, and then we have to chill there, and then we gotta drive all the way back, take the ferry back. Because that's the way we were going. We just need to park up for the day, chill here for the night, regroup, and tomorrow decide. Tomorrow is gonna be rainy, and then the next day is gonna be windy, so there's not really anything we can do over the next couple days anyways. And regarding, resources and stuff like that, so yeah, we figured out a place to park, we figured out dump, and they would normally have water fill here at the visitor center, but she said they were having some plumbing problems, so we can't get water here. So really, water for us is gonna basically come down to just buying jugs at Walmart and throwing them in the tank, which is... But we didn't even find jugs. There was... You said they didn't have the big jug. No. Like, we're talking like the biggest water bottles that you can find, and put those in here. So that's like so many bottles of water. So not sure how that's gonna go, but we're gonna go park up, regroup like Dana said. We're gonna figure this out. So we are at the Can you even see? Not really. It's filled with dirt. Sorry. Sorry, there's a frozen lake behind there. See out this window. Yeah. So we're at the park up that we found earlier. May sleep here tonight, but we're just gonna be here for the next few hours to figure out what we can and can't do for the rest of this trip. So yeah, we got some good resources from the lady at the tourism center. We got this traveler's guide. Let's see what happens. I have been sitting at my computer for not very long, but long enough that I was able to come up with a new plan, and I think I can make everything work. It just looks different, that's all. So yeah, I think we might go back to the island, which is kind of exciting. We love the island, but we will only really explore Twillingate again, and not even explore. We'll probably just park up at the same camp spot that we camped at the last time we were there and just chill there for like 4 days in hopes to see some icebergs. So yeah, I think that's maybe what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start heading down that way tomorrow and then catch the ferry hopefully on Sunday and stay there for about a week, come back the following Sunday, and then we basically have 2 weeks to explore Labrador again, which is more than enough time. And it'll probably be at a better weather window as well, so more of the hikes might start opening up, some of the snow might be gone, hopefully by that point. Yeah, let's see how that goes, and get excited to go back to the island and see Twillingate, because Twillingate was probably one of our favorite spots on the island, other than the national park of Grossmore. And I think Twillingate was like a huge highlight for us, so I'm feeling good. I don't know, do you feel okay about this plan?
Yeah, I mean, Newfoundland is amazing, and like we definitely weren't planning on going there this time around.
I didn't realize that this ferry was so short.
Yeah, because like since we're here on Labrador, the ferry from Labrador to Newfoundland is way shorter than from, I think it was Nova Scotia.
It's Nova Scotia
previously,
yeah.
That we went from the mainland of Canada to Newfoundland, which is like an 8-hour ferry. This one's only like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. So if the dogs had to stay in the car, honestly, they'd be totally
Yeah,
fine, because we've left them in the car for 2 hours before.
Yeah, so it's definitely doable. We've come all this way anyway.
And honestly, icebergs were the main thing.
Yeah.
I had added all these like hikes and stuff, and like there are a few hikes that I do still really want to do, but having them be later in the month will probably be better anyways. So yeah, let's see if we can find icebergs. I'm feeling better. I was feeling really weird.
We really want to see icebergs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if that was the goal, we should really go after it and not get bummed. Because I honestly, so yesterday was feeling really weird, and then the lady told us there was no way we were gonna see it here, other than on the island, and so that bummed me out. But after doing this, I feel like we have good chances.
Yeah. Hi there. I was wondering if it is possible to book a ferry reservation. So on May 4th, the Blanc Sablon to St. Barb. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
No worries. Have a great week. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. We have booked our ferries over to Newfoundland, so we're locked in now. This is what's happening. Yeah, it's always interesting when, you got to change plans on the fly, and that happens frequently when you live on the road and you're trying to like plan adventures and travel and stuff like that. Stuff just, things change, and you just gotta roll with it.
Especially in the off season.
Yeah, especially us trying to go there in the off season. All right. Good morning, everybody. So it's the next day. We are on the road now. Got up bright and early today so we could do a whole bunch of chores. So we went and dumped. We went and got groceries. We grabbed a shower at their local arena here. It was a suggestion by the visitor center that we could go get a free shower there. So that worked out great, except for the fact that they didn't really have hot water. So it was kind of like cold showers, especially for Dana.
It was the most coldest shower I've ever had, and I literally got a brain freeze.
Yeah. In any case, it was free, and we didn't have to use the shower and waste our water here in the van.
Since it is very sparse to find water.
Yeah. We bought a crap ton of water jugs from the grocery store, just because that's the only way for us to get any sort of water here, is to just buy bulk bottled water essentially. Today we are starting a 2-day drive over to the coast of Labrador. So over the next 2 days we are hoping to get to an area called St. Louis. And yeah, I did some Facebook asking yesterday on various kind of travel groups around the Newfoundland and Labrador area, and just to see that was what the lady at the visitor center saying was accurate, that you can't see any icebergs here in all of Labrador. And she might have been wrong, I think, because I got a whole bunch of suggestions from places where we can potentially see them here on the Labrador side, and St. Louis is one of them. So that's where we're going to be heading. We are still going with our new plan of going over to Newfoundland, the island. So we're still going to do that, made our reservations and all that. So hitting up the places here on the Labrador side, as well as going to Newfoundland, should give us at least 3 chances to see icebergs, which is the whole point of all this, as you guys know. I think our chances are pretty good, but in any case, we have long drive ahead for these next couple of days, so we're just gonna speed through it for you guys because it's probably not that interesting for you. But here we go. Okay, so we are driving along the Labrador coastal route now. We spent last night in a town called Happy Valley, and the weather's been getting pretty crap. It's snow slushing right now, and it's just been like really wet and stuff. So today we are hoping to get to one of the first destinations where we can potentially see icebergs on the Labrador side. We're going to a town called St. Louis. However, we just passed a sign like 2 minutes ago that said there's no gas stations for another 392 kilometers. So that is basically at the absolute max of what our van is even able to do on a single tank of gas. We have no jerry cans. We weren't really expecting to have to deal with a long stretch like this without a gas station during this leg of the journey, but we're here now and we're going to attempt to make this work. We're basically just not gonna go crazy fast, you know, probably stick to around 80 kilometers an hour or slower the whole way, and we should be able to make it. But if there's a lot of hills or if it's really, really windy, then that could really put us in a predicament. So yeah, here's hoping, but hopefully we'll be okay. We put the van on eco mode. I have no idea if this actually makes any sort of significant difference, but we're gonna do everything we can to make this happen. About half tank now, and we've driven 278 kilometers, which actually is really, really good. So like, I think we're gonna definitely make it. We got about, what does that say? How many kilometers?
103.
103 kilometers until the gas station, so no problem. Yeah, we'll probably be able to push like close to 500 kilometers out of this one tank just because of how slow we're going. So that is really good. It might have been a different story if there was a lot of like mountain climbs and if it was extremely windy, but we've gotten pretty lucky with both of those things. There are some like hills, but there's also a fair amount of downhills and flat sections, so it's sort of evened itself out.
And the hills don't go for very long.
Yeah, so it's actually not so bad, and it hasn't been really that windy, and just the fact that we're going max like 75, 80 kilometers an hour, that makes a big difference in this van. Because yeah, that would have been pretty scary to run out of gas in the middle of this stretch. Like, you know, most of this drive is just the same the entire way. There's nothing and it's just trees and it's snowing, but it's very desolate feeling, it's very remote, and you do not want to get stuck out here because I don't even know if it'd be possible to get any sort of help if you got stuck out here.
No, it would.
Maybe.
It's all paved.
Sure,
Someone could definitely get out here. It's just a matter of how much money do you want to spend.
Yeah, you would have to pay someone a lot of money to come to you with a jerry can. Alrighty, we have made it to a gas station finally. So we used almost 3/4 tank of gas. Yeah, so it's good to know that we can go, you know, over 400 kilometers before needing gas, and we still have a little over 1/4 tank. So this actually worked out really good. It was a really good test for us.
Also, if you want to come here in the better weather, there's a ginormous chair there you can sit on.
Oh yeah, that'd be neat, huh? But yeah, this is Port Hope Simpson. I think we still have like an hour to go before we actually get to St. Louis. So, but we're gonna gas up.
Okay, this is the end of our long drive day, and we are coming up on what will potentially be our camp spot for hopefully at least a night, maybe 2 if they'll let us. Yeah, we are hopefully going to see some icebergs. This is location numero 1.
There is a lot of ice in the ocean right now next to us. I don't know if you could classify them as icebergs, because it's not like they're chunks from a glacier that floated over here. It's just from this body of water melting, I guess. But it looks really cool.
Yeah.
All right, we have made it to our spot. yeah, it's actually going to be a really good viewing area for all this, I think.
Well, well, to go back a tiny little bit, we got here and we're very close to like a lot of people's homes.
Yeah, so like if you look out this window, like we're right or basically in the front yard of this house over here.
But this is also technically still like a picnic park area.
Yeah.
And it's on Overlander. However, we were like a little unsure if like, you know, the community is gonna be okay with us being here. But we were able to ask this lovely lady,
the owner of the house there, yeah.
And she's absolutely fine with us parking up here for a couple days to just watch some icebergs. So that makes me feel good. She was super, super friendly, so that was really, really nice. But yeah, apparently she said that the ocean is literally right over there and the bergs usually just float by. Yeah. So yeah, there is a couple in the distance. So if we're here for a couple days, cross our fingers, they come a little bit closer. We are kind of gonna endure some nasty weather tomorrow, and obviously today is pouring rain, but in a couple days it will be sunny. But yeah. Iceberg location number 1.
Yeah, so way in the distance over there, I'll point it out right now. Those are 2 pretty big looking icebergs. We can see them in our binoculars, but yeah, they are very, very far away.
Hopefully they float this way. All right, so we have just been chilling here at this parking spot and literally just staring at those icebergs out in the distance. It's been really, really fun watching them. There's one smaller one. He's just been kind of flying right through. He'll probably be here in the middle of the night and we may or may not be able to see him, but that's all right. The bigger one though, we've just been watching him. He literally just has been sitting out there, but he's just like spinning in a circle. I wish I could get it on camera, and I really wish that he just gets closer so that we can actually film it for you, but it's actually so much fun just sitting here with my binoculars and just staring at this one iceberg. It's gonna get dark soon, so at some point I'm gonna have to just give up and, you know, pray that in the morning I wake up and there's this giant iceberg right outside our window. That would be so cool. Hopefully we can see it in tomorrow's weather. Tomorrow is supposed to be snowing, so I'm assuming visibility will be poor. But hey, you never know. If it's close up, you might be able to see it. But yeah, I don't think we're going to do much more for the rest of the evening. Mike is going to edit a video, or at least start one. And I might just start reading my book. So yeah. Join us while we patiently wait for these icebergs. Alright everyone, it is officially snowing. Our first snowstorm here in Labrador. It was really windy last night, and unfortunately it blew everything away. And by everything, I mean literally everything. Like the whole bay that was covered in ice chunks is gone, it's empty. So I don't think we're gonna see anything here anymore. We were only able to get binocular views yesterday. Yeah, that's okay. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. It's supposed to be like this all day long, and tomorrow it might clear up.
All right, making ourselves a big breakfast.
Make up for the lack of icebergs.
Yeah. It's gonna be a cozy day inside as we wait out this snowstorm, and hopefully we'll get lucky tomorrow or something like that. Alrighty. And now we play the waiting game. We'll see what happens.
I don't think anything's coming.
Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. Okay, good morning everybody. So it's been a couple days since we pulled up here at St. Louis. We're leaving today. The weather is absolutely beautiful, which is great. Yesterday we were basically sitting in a snowstorm all day. It was super windy. It was hard to sleep like all night just because like the van was just shaking the entire time.
And creaking.
Yeah, we are leaving St. Louis today. We filled up gas at their single gas pump in the entire town this morning and reloaded on some groceries and water, which was nice.
This is the only place so far that we've found that has water fill.
Yeah, like one of those like water jug fill stations inside of their grocery store. Like even in Labrador City, we couldn't find any store that had anything like that, which was kind of strange. So we filled up our water jugs again, and we're on the road now. We are headed to another area called Red Bay. Hopefully the weather holds out. We are hoping. We saw a report on Facebook groups that there was an iceberg near this town a couple days ago. Whether it's still there now, probably not.
It's been so windy.
Yeah, the wind in this area over the last couple days basically pushed a whole bunch of the ice away from shore. So we're not sure if we're gonna get to see anything, but in any case, we're still moving there now. We need to juice up our batteries anyways, so we need to actually drive in order to make that happen. But join us today as we head to Red Bay, and fingers crossed that, you know, we get lucky and see some stuff once we get there. But at least the weather is a lot nicer today. Like, it's super gorgeous out. The sun's out. It's still cold. It is really, really cold outside. But let's do it. We are about to get to Red Bay, and there's icebergs in the ocean here.
They're not like crazy close, but they're there and they're big.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be cool. Okay, you can see some way in the distance. Much better than St. Louis where we were at before. This might be interesting. Okay, so yeah, if you can see way in the distance there, there's an iceberg. Well, we're gonna try to find a campsite first. Okay everyone, so welcome to Red Bay. You can see the town behind me here in the distance. We've just parked up at, it's like a trailhead for a hike I think, but apparently you can also just camp there overnight, so that's probably where we'll post up for tonight. And yeah, we're just on this trail now, and there's some cool things in the distance. Stairs are full of these motivational sayings. Definitely helps when you're climbing up them.
All right, everyone. We have made it onto a trail, finally. It has been so long. This one is gonna provide us with some stellar views. Yeah, this trail is called Tracy's Hill, or Tracy Hill, and then there's also a shoreline trail that you can take called the Bonnie Shoreline Trail. If you do them both, it's about 5 kilometers, and obviously this one's all uphill that we're doing. So yeah, let's get to the top and see if we can see the giant iceberg that we saw coming in on the other side of this hill. I just counted 5 big icebergs out in the ocean there, and yeah, I can see them all with our very own eyes. As we made our way to the end of the trail, a large cluster of icebergs started appearing before us. We were finally seeing what we came all this distance for, and it was amazing.
Okay, so we're up here at the end of the trail, and this is really, really cool. Like, there's just so many of these icebergs just out there floating in the water.
I'm just standing here counting how many icebergs we can see from the distance, and I think I counted like 20. Like, there's like 5 or 6 over here. There's at least another 4 to 6 here. There's 1 there. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, all right. yeah, as we're walking back now, we're just kind of talking about how, like, it's always a crapshoot, like, going after this sort of stuff. This kind of reminds me of when we were in Baja. We were at this camp spot for the sole purpose of trying to see whales, and you could see zero. Just like you could see zero of these icebergs here. And that's just kind of part of the game when you try to, you know, go hunting for these sorts of things, and that's sort of your end goal for coming all the way out here.
Yeah, it's pure luck.
Yeah.
So I was just telling Mike about how, so there's a Facebook page. It's a page where basically people talk about the current icebergs that are in the area and where you can see them. Somebody posted on there, and they're located in St. John's, and she's basically just saying, I don't really want to drive 2 hours north or whatever to go try and track down an iceberg if there's nothing going to be there. I feel like when people try and do this type of activity, their expectations are extremely high.
Yeah.
I really think in these types of situations, have your expectations low and just be super excited to have even seen icebergs even out in the distance.
Yeah,
like,
even if it's far away, like, it's still
bring your binoculars.
Yeah, bring binoculars,
Like,
pull
it's
out your
still so
phone and
much
zoom
fun
in, and
yeah, no, it's still so much fun to just like see it through the binoculars.
yeah. Long story short, the point is, yeah, don't, you know, have super high expectations when you're coming to hunt for stuff like this, whether it be icebergs or whales in Mexico or whatever, because then you get to be pleasantly surprised when you do find something, even if it's small.
Even for this situation, we were told that we would not at all be able to see icebergs.
Totally.
And it's like, yes, we can. They may not be like right in our faces.
But they're still there.
They're still there.
Yeah, like you guys saw like a few days ago when we arrived in Labrador City in the visitor center, the person who worked there basically told us like, you can't see them at all here, but here we are still in Labrador and we've seen like 20 today. Yeah. So it just goes to show. You gotta make your own path sometimes and just kind of go for it.
But yeah, just be excited about those moments and like, don't fret if you don't get the perfect shot or the perfect iceberg that's like right in front of your face.
Yeah, because you know the journey is still amazing. Whether or not you had the giant payoff that you were hoping for, that you pictured in your head, the fact that we've even come this far. Like we're posting Instagram stories of us being here in Labrador, and like so many people are just writing like, holy cow, you're all the way in Labrador, nobody ever goes there, and like, what are you doing there, right? So this is where we are. It's amazing. Labrador's awesome. Okay everyone, so I think we are going to call it here on this episode. Labrador, the journey to Labrador was long and arduous. It was definitely a challenge to get all the way over here, and we were pretty discouraged when we first got here, and that lady at the visitor center told us that you can't see icebergs here, and kind of part of us felt like we totally just wasted our time coming here. But we definitely turned that around here in Red Bay, and getting to see some of these icebergs for the first time is pretty incredible, and I have a feeling that we have a lot more cool stuff coming up as we progress through this next adventure, as we head over to Newfoundland next episode. I'm glad we made the choice to do that, but it was still cool that we got to see them here on the Labrador side. But yeah guys, it's a bit of a long one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, but we will catch you guys next episode as we make our way over to Newfoundland and get ready for some more iceberg adventures. But with that guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Mike.
I'm Dana.
Or let's just go travel, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure.
Woot woot.